Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Screen Time. Let's talk about why Ellen is losing her popularity. Number 6, the Kevin Hart interview about the Oscars. The Ellen DeGeneres show has long been seen as a friendly spot for A-list stars looking to promote their new project, even though the host likes to pull terrifying pranks on them as soon as they step on set. In January 2019, Kevin Hart appeared shortly after he stepped down as Academy Awards host because of controversy over his previous homophobic tweets and jokes. DeGeneres, who's coming out as gay on her sitcom in 1997, was a groundbreaking moment for the LGBTQ community. She said she believed in second chances and urged him to ignore the negative comments online. She also called the Academy and asked him to rehire Hart. A backlash ensued from people offended by Hart's homophobic comments and who didn't appreciate DeGeneres' dismissing them as haters.
So, to get the moment, celebrate the moment. Oh my God, I can't believe it's happened. And then the next morning,
Number 5, the George W. Bush photo. Last fall, DeGeneres and former President George W. Bush were photographed chatting and laughing together at a Dallas Cowboys-Green Bay Packers game. The image sparked outrage on the internet because DeGeneres, an LGBTQ advocate whose career suffered when she came out, was so friendly with a politician who supported a ban on same-sex marriage and whose administration launched the Iraq War. DeGeneres' explanation on her show the following week, peppered with jokes, did not impress her critics. People were upset. They thought, why is a gay Hollywood liberal sitting next to a conservative Republican president? DeGeneres said during her monologue, here's the thing, I'm friends with George Bush. In fact, I'm friends with a lot of people who don't share the same beliefs that I have. We're all different, and I think that we've forgotten that it's okay that we're all different. She compared it to how she doesn't agree with people who wear fur or those who play Christmas music in October. When I say be kind to one another, I don't only mean the people that think the same way that you do, she continued, I mean be kind to everyone. She showed one tweet that said, Ellen and George Bush makes me have faith in America again, and the audience burst into applause. But many disagreed, summarized in one sample YouTube comment. Ellen whitewashing the crimes of a war criminal as differences of opinion, like not wearing fur, actually has me lose faith in humanity.
So the baby is named Henry Harold Hager after his dad.
Triple H.
Yeah, Triple H. Although they're calling him Hal. They're calling him Hal after Jenna's maternal grandfather.
Number 4, the Dakota Johnson interview. Yes, it has become somewhat of a Twitter meme that Johnson brought down Ellen, but this incident may have opened the floodgates. The DeGeneres kicked off their interview by noting Johnson had recently turned 30. How was the party? I wasn't invited. Johnson, decidedly unamused, shot back, actually no, that's not the truth, Ellen, you were invited. DeGeneres looked taken aback as Johnson continued to say that she remembered DeGeneres had been offended she wasn't invited to her 29th birthday, so the actress made sure to include her for her 30th. I didn't even know you wanted to be invited, Johnson said. Who doesn't want to be invited to a party, DeGeneres asked. I didn't even know you liked me, Johnson exclaimed, as DeGeneres insisted she did, in fact, like her. But I did invite you and you didn't come, so... Are you sure? How do you know? I don't think so, DeGeneres said. Ask everybody, Johnson said flatly, drawing an audible gasp in the audience. Ask Jonathan, your producer. Eventually, it was confirmed that yes, Johnson had invited DeGeneres, but she was out of town that weekend. The interview went viral and Johnson was hailed for standing up to DeGeneres with other celebrities would have been highly unlikely or too afraid to do so.
Listens to her, she's a virgin, she's not ever really been interested in boys, or she leads a very quiet lifestyle, and she's in...
Number 3, the viral Twitter thread. Johnson may or may not have been the tipping point, but a few months later, another viral Twitter thread emerged as comedian and Gilmore Guys podcast co-host Kevin T. Porter solicited negative stories about DeGeneres in exchange for food bank donations.
Degree of tenacity, I also knew that literally no one is better for this. And so if they weren't going to hire me, they were wrong, and they would have had a mistake on their hands.
Number 2, the pandemic-related incidents. Several weeks after the novel coronavirus pandemic shut down production in Hollywood, DeGeneres posted a YouTube video in which she compared being in quarantine to jail. A joke seen as especially tone-deaf given that she was sitting in her palatial California home, while the spread of the virus in prisons was actually a dire situation. After backlash, her show's official account deleted a tweet with a video, and the clip was made private on YouTube. About a week later, Variety reported that Ellen employees were panicking because they had been told very little about their future, including whether they would continue to be paid, and the host allegedly hired non-union tech employees in the meantime to produce the show remotely from her house. The production company, which eventually gave the employees some answers, blamed the lack of communication on the chaos of the pandemic, Variety wrote. Number 1, the fallout. On July 16th, BuzzFeed published a long story by Christy Lee Yandoli, who interviewed former Ellen Show employees who alleged a toxic environment of racism, fear, and intimidation. As one former staffer said, that be kind bullshit only happens when the cameras are on. It's all for the show. 2 weeks later, Yandoli published another story that reported that, according to dozens of people who work behind the scenes at the show, the office is a place where sexual harassment and misconduct by top executive producers runs rampant. Warner Bros. Released a statement last week that it has been interviewing employees and said, in part, though not all the allegations were corroborated, we are disappointed that the primary findings of the investigation indicated some deficiencies related to the show's day-to-day management. We have identified several staffing changes along with appropriate measures to address the issues that have been raised. DeGeneres also sent an email to staff that said there will be changes. On day one of our show, I told everyone in our first meeting that the Ellen DeGeneres Show would be a place of happiness. No one would ever raise their voice, and everyone would be treated with respect. Obviously, something changed, and I am disappointed to learn that this has not been the case, and for that, I am sorry. I'm also learning that people who work with me and for me are speaking on my behalf and misrepresenting who I am, and that has to be stopped, she continued. As someone who was judged and nearly lost everything for just being who I am, I truly understand and have deep compassion for those being looked at differently or treated unfairly, not equal or worse, disregarded. To think that any of you felt this way is awful to me. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit a like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.